So welcome to part 2 of this flight from Athens to Larnaca. We're at 31,000 feet over the Med, pointing towards Larnaca. It wouldn't be good if we were pointing in any other direction. And I'll start having a look at the arrival into Larnaca. So at this stage, because we're not halfway to Larnaca yet. If we go to departure arrival, it still shows the arrival for Athens, for turn back to Athens. So to go and change the arrival into Larnaca, we go to index and then departure arrival index here, go to LCLK Larnaca and arrival, and then Larnaca we're gonna do the ILS runway 22. I just need to check which ILS it is. I quite fancy doing the ILS X-ray, which is procedural ILS turn drop. So ILS X-ray 22, transition via Larnaca, and the arrival is Bonex 1 Alpha. So we'll go into the legs page, and first of all check the arrival. So from Bonex, Bonex 1 Alpha, Bonex flight level 130 or above. So I'll set 130 A for above. Then Daros 9000 or above, that's correct. Atlas 6000 or above, that's correct. Otesa 5000 or above. And Larnaca VR 4000 or above, which should be next. Yeah. 200 knots, that's maybe a restriction on the ILS itself. 4,000 feet, then we go to 8 DME. 1500, no, doesn't say. Then the CI 22, which is the center fix, 1500 feet or above. Then 1500 feet at 5 miles to run to the runway. 2.8 glide path, which is correct. Minima 210. In case of a missed approach from runway 22, we go to track 221 until 3 miles, and then to Bossis via track 138. Bossis 138, yeah, 2000 feet and 210 max, which is all correct. Lovely. We are going to get to Larnaca with 7.3 tons, so let's say 7 tons plus the zero fuel weight of 209, that's going to be 216 tons. So a weight of 216 tons. Our VR30 is going to be 139. The weather in Larnaca. One 006, so we can preset that. For landing, we'll go on auto brake 3. Kind of eyeball it again. And runway 22, Larnaca. miles. And the MSA in Larnaca is based on LCA. 25 miles. And that's about it. We are sorted out. So we've got the VRF 30139 here, 210 on the minimums. The QNH is preset. We've got some auto brake settings set, and the FMC and the VNAV descent page is populated. The forecast is populated as well. The departure arrival or the route, we got the Bonek 1 Alpha, and then the approach transition to the Alice 22. The legs page has all been checked and correct. We've got our VRF set for flap 30 and 139 knots, and we've got 8 miles to runway 22 for the gear configuration and the MSA there. So we are all good. Little look outside. Lovely. Lovely islands around. So we could go up to flight level 370, I guess. The optimum is 383, but such a short flight. There's no point going all the way up there and then go back down quite quickly. At least that's my philosophy. And if we look at the cabin altitude, cabin altitude is actually quite high. It's almost to the max, 7,900, which is quite strange actually, because we are only up to 31,000 feet. The differential pressure is 6.8, which is already fairly high. Okay. We can see the air system at the moment from the air synoptic. The left engine is feeding the left back and the left trim air there, which obviously then feeds air conditioning into the cabin. And the same thing for the right bleed, providing air to the right back and to the right trim air. And you can see the isolation valves. The left one is open, but the center one is closed there. So basically the right, the two sides are kind of separated from each other through the isolation valve there, the center isolation valve. All the switches here actually, the isolation valve switches are all on auto, and then the systems determines which position the valves have to be in. So that's all very interesting. Can I reopen this? Maybe. Yeah. And yeah, up here you've got all the temperatures in the cabin. So the moment we are hey, thank you very much, TUI 737 pilot. Welcome on board, sir. Hope you're enjoying the stream. We're not very far from top of descent, and the next about 20-25 minutes I'm already all set up for the arrival. Just having a little discussion about the air conditioning system on the aircraft. So yeah, we've got all the on the air synoptic here, all the the master temperature on 24 degrees, and then all the sections of the cabin all on 24 degrees as well. And in the cargo we can play with the temperature as well if we've got any items which are temperature sensitive, like live animals, for example. We can carry dogs, cats, but also like maybe perishable fruits or things like that. So at the moment the system is aiming for 7 degrees, both in the aft cargo hold and the bulk cargo. I'm not sure actually to what extent this is simulated. Might not be simulated here in the PMDG aircraft, but yeah, in real you would have basically two positions with these switches up here. The cargo temp select switches, and at the moment it's on low, so it's aiming for about 7 degrees. And if you put them on high, it's gonna aim for 21 degrees. Here we are, and then back to low. So as I said, if you've got cargo requiring low temperature, you will set it on low, and the system would be targeted for 7 degrees. And if you have like live dogs or cats, you try to put it on high, so that the temperature would be about 21 degrees. As I said, I don't know to what extent the system here is simulated. One thing as well that happens in the real aircraft is that if you leave and the temperature, like it was in Athens today here, is 30 degrees, obviously the cargo hold are going to be fairly hot as well. And even once we are airborne, it's going to take a while for the temperature to go back down towards 7 degrees. On a short flight like this, 1 hour and 1 hour 15 minutes, it's not really going to cool down that much, to tell the truth. So yeah, that's the thing. So what we can do as well is that we can control the flight deck temperature manually. If you can see, initially automatically, if you go towards the C, which obviously stands for cold, the target temperature decreases. But you can also go to manual, and then once you go to manual, you basically play with the flight deck trim valve there. So either you can open the valve, so the more you open the valve, the more there is like warm air coming in, and obviously the less you open the valve, the less I'm back to automatic now, but the less you open the valve, obviously the less hot air comes in. It's not really the usual setting. Usually we'll use the auto function. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can see now. Let's try to see. We'll set for 23 and we see if the temperature comes down or not. So the aft and bulk cargo heating is an independent heating system, and the forward cargo, we can't really control the temperature of the forward cargo, but the forward cargo uses basically the hot air which is taken out of the equip cooling, the ENE bay, all the equip cooling area there at the front of the aircraft. So basically all the heat produced by the electronics is dumped into the forward cargo hold. So where are we? Somewhere, almost there. Top of descent, 170 miles still, so still a while to go. If we look at the pressurization here, it's obviously all automatically controlled, and at the moment we can see the status of the outflow valves. Obviously the outflow valve switches are on automatic, auto there, and the selector there is pushed in. So at the moment, like, the outflow valves are almost closed, they are just slightly opened here. TUI 737 pilot, I'm on VATSIM at the moment. And yeah, the outflow valves are just open a tiny bit. You can see the rate of climb is obviously 0 because we are in the cruise, and now the pressurization schedule is kind of stable. And the landing altitude is 300 feet, which is possibly, let me check the altitude at Larnaca. Larnaca is 11 feet. So what's the altitude in Athens? Athens is 300 feet, so the pressurization is still basically looking for a return to Athens, and as we go through the 400 miles or the halfway point, then they would look for Larnaca itself. If we go to departure arrival, yeah, it still shows Athens. So for the moment the system is geared for like air turn back to Athens, and once we pass the halfway point or 400 miles, whichever is greater, then the system will look for the destination Larnaca. So I'll come back on that. We'll see. It's hard to tell exactly where the midway point is. We've got still 270 miles. The route was maybe about 500 miles or something. So yeah, as we are speaking, the just to finish on the pressurization system, the flight plan was about 520 miles or something like that, so we just passed the halfway point. We've got about 250 miles left to run, and you can see the pressurization is now scheduled for the Larnaca altitude, 0 feet, more or less sea level. And if we go to the FMC and go departure arrival, now it's transitioned towards Larnaca. So that's actually well simulated. It's exactly the same on the aircraft. 400 miles or halfway point is the kind of is what you're looking for the system to either still look back for the departure airport for a turn back to the departure airport, or otherwise to go to the destination. Captain. Although the title of the channel and the username is coming from many moons ago, when I was learning to fly, and people had kind of some friends had given me this nickname, so that's actually where the username and the name of the channel comes from. It's not really anything to do with like the rank itself, but so we'll close the air synoptic. The air synoptic is quite interesting because some of it appears here at the bottom of the upper display here, and then the rest comes up on the lower display, whereas the other synoptics, for example the electrics, is all on the lower display. So the electrics, obviously, once the engine are started, you switch off the APU, and then the left drive on the left engine, like feeds the system here on the left, and the right, same thing. The right bus is there, the main bus, and the transfer bus. Cool. So at this stage, the cabin crew would start obviously tidying up and getting the cabin ready, securing the cabin for landing. On a big aircraft like this, it's a process that starts way before the top of descent. If you've got more than 300 people on board, you need to obviously get going quite early on. And by 20,000 feet, we'll put the seatbelt sign on, and that will be a signal for the crew that they only have about 20 minutes or even less, probably only 10 to 15 minutes to really be ready. We don't want to have the cabin ready on the approach at the last minute. That's not really a desirable situation. So yeah, after we put the seatbelt sign on at 20,000 feet, you still have about 20 minutes. Well, depending on the arrival, but you would usually have about 15 to 20 minutes to actual landing. But as I said, you want the cabin to be ready during the initial part of the approach, at least before like 5,000 feet. Below 5,000 feet, then time is becoming a bit of the essence, and it's not great. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's one of the steps to take. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a kind of natural evolution. After a while, you know, you're kind of ready for it and fly from your own wings, so to speak. So yeah, that's all right. FMC message, reset MCP altitude. So the first restriction is 130, so we'll set 130. And once we get to the top of descent point here, the aircraft will descend automatically. Alright, so we're just about there, 5 miles. It's a good idea as well to get in touch with somebody else, actually get, like, you know, different opinions, because some guys are maybe a little bit more rigid than others, so it's good to go and see somebody else, I guess. Right, here we go. Idle. The auto throttle brings the thrust all the way back. So the latest update on the weather. Larnaca. It's 12 Zulu. So 9 minutes ago. It's all very recent. 220 at 17, so straight down the runway, 70 knots, so we can probably go on the auto brake too. 220 at 17, 10 kilometers or more, few 3,000 feet, 33 degrees, 1006. Go. So 1006 is preset, and the wind is straight down the runway. Beautiful. Here's Cyprus. Very nice. Quite a big island actually. Lovely. Oh, we've got Transavia. Oh, how is that going to pan out? Let's see if I can see an ETA. Oh, there's 1 minute separating us. It's at 15,000 feet, so it should be a little bit ahead. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give him way. I'm gonna start reducing the speed. 250 knots. And we'll update the descent page. Decelerate a little bit. Don't really want to bump into the other aircraft. I think he's a little bit lower, so he should be closer in, but actually I leave 13,000 feet while I'm in. Oh no, I'm in VNAV speed, so it's okay. I thought I'd change to fly level change speed, but it's VNAV, so it's okay. And Transavia 5313 is probably slightly ahead. Oh no, now it's saying that I'm the one ahead. But he's lower, so he's coming from another direction. I'm not sure what's gonna happen here. That'll be interesting. I have no visual and no TCAS either. So right over the island now. Just a few clouds around. Lovely. Cool. Palma de Mallorca. Nice airport. So the other traffic is now at 6,000 feet. So, but I still don't see him on TCAS. Oh yeah, now I've got him on the EFB. Ooh la, he's far. It's funny because I think Larnaca doesn't have radar in real life, so it will be all procedural. And I think what I might do is slow down a little bit further. $10,000 descending flow.
Okay. Ready for the checklist.
Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters.
Set.
Confirm.
As required.
Approach checklist complete.
Okay, cool. So it's just
Okay,
contemplate,
confirm frequency.
just contemplating taking up a hold because this guy is gonna be in my way, and so I'll give him priority, and then I'll go number 2. So in that case, we go to hold, next hold, Larnaca, and it is 041 right turns. So 041 / right turns, and execute. So now we got Otesa, LCA, and all that LCA. Yeah, because looking at the EFB looks close, and I'm not sure where he's going as well. Fuel wise, yeah. The old page can give us information about the fuel. 9 minutes, not a lot of fuel to hold, actually. Let's see what he does. He now seems to be on a very far base leg. According to the EFB, it's about here maybe. Okay, he says he's got me in sight. Yeah, we can see Monticas now, so we're just gonna hold and wait for him to arrive. Okay, the EFB is going crazy. What the hell is going on with the EFB? Okay, so we're taking up the hold. It's doing something really funny there. Oh, I'm recovering the EFB, happy days. No, enough. So where is our friend? He's gonna be on the ILS soon. Yeah, he's coming on the ILS, so one hold will be enough, which is cool. So what I'm gonna do is hold, exit hold. Basically, next time we get back to Lima Charlie Alpha, then we'll go outbound on the procedure. Flaps 1.
It was in fact selected. Skipper.
No. Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1 selected.
Cool. That's working out quite well actually. He's on final. And, I'm going outbound.
Flaps verified. Captain, I take it you know the runway in use.
Runway 22. Runway 22. Here he is on the ILS. Can we see him outside? Here he is, 10 miles. Beautiful. Can we zoom? No. It's a little bit zoomed, but anyway. Maintaining 4,000 feet. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5 selected.
So he's on the ILS. 1,400 feet there. 6 miles. The airport is right below. Here it is. Yeah, if I had not slowed down and go into the hold, that's the cabin, it could have been a problem for the arrival there, definitely. And now I can go down to 1,500 feet. Vertical speed. Where is our friend? Yeah, you can land, matey. Here is. Hey, really nice. Hey, cool. Fuel wise, it's still good. Oh, great! That was a grease on it. 127 feet per minute. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do on this. I don't really mind, to tell the truth, but so 8 DME. It's starting the turn to intercept the ILS. Flaps 15.
Flaps 1 5 selected.
500.
Flaps verified.
So the sensing is correct. approach mode armed, localizer glide slope armed. Gaze vacated the runway and we are turning final. Beautiful. That's beautiful coordination. You can see the terrain inland there, showing on the terrain display. Gear down.
Gear speed check. Going down.
Flaps 20.
Flaps 20 selected.
We'll seat the crew for landing.
Flaps verified. Gear down and secured.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30 selected.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Flaps verified. Speed brake armed. Landing gear down. Flaps.
30. Set.
Landing checklist complete.
Molto bene. Cool. Let's disconnect the autopilot. Flight director. Thank you very much. I'll try to do my best.
1000.
Check. No pressure.
Approaching 2-2.
That was the RUS system. Approaching runway 22.
Okay, confirm frequency.
So the RUS and the AGPWS systems are two different systems. The 500 was the AGPWS system, giving us basically 500 feet above the ground on the radio altimeter.
Plus 100.
Check.
Minimums.
Landing. That's the GPWS.
50.
40, 30, 20,
10.
10. Reversers. Manual braking. And here we are in Larnaca. So vacating at Foxtrot. After landing floor.
Okay, Captain.
It's a joystick. It's a joystick I've had for many years. Still doing well. Sometimes it's not easy to have a feel for the aircraft, but generally it works really well. So I'm quite happy with it. So nobody on this side.
After landing flow complete.